was your midweek evening? Because mine sucked.
That's fine. Have a writing group in the evenings I go to.
Writing group? Interesting.
Yep.
What's that?
We just go over each other's writings. I didn't have anything presenting. But...
I'm Joseph Jammer Medina. I'm a writer. Hi, Joseph. That type of thing.
That's exactly that. Exactly.
Oh man, welcome to.
How did you know? How did you know that's how it was? It's like, are you sure? Were you there at the meeting?
I think we do have a delay because I was just starting the intro.
Oh yeah, I was. I still interrupted you. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So there's no delay?
I don't know if there's that much delay.
What the fuck ever. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to LRMornings with Joseph. Excuse me, with Kyle and Jammer. Because I said your full name earlier in a joke, and he likes to go by Jammer, but I'm Kyle.
I'm Jammer.
And yeah, man, we do silly stuff in the mornings because, well, fuck, we wake up every morning early, get ready for work or our lives, work out, whatever the case may be, just so we can bring you guys this show every week, and you are listening
every day, every weekday. Thank you very much.
Every weekday,
duh.
Every weekday, and we appreciate it. So yeah. So what happened yesterday, man? Not too much. I mean,
it's pretty slow. Like it was pretty slow. Like I know the E3 stuff news is slowing down. We got little things here and there, but nothing crazy. The most thing that entertained me yesterday video wise was watching Nintendo Treehouse and seeing them play Fire Emblem, the new Fire Emblem game. But I've honestly never played a Fire Emblem game. I don't think. I think I may have touched on one back in like the Game Boy Advance days, but I know that was. I also did like Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre and those types of things. I'm not sure. Did I play Fire Emblem? I may have played one. I don't quite remember. So yeah, it's not really a franchise I'm too familiar with. All I know is that you have a million anime characters in Smash Brothers that look exactly the same. That's all I know, is that you have all these 5 or 10 characters that look pretty similar and wearing similar clothings. So that's all I really know, but I'm kind of thrilled to give it a shot. This game looks like it could be fun. You're a teacher of a school, and you're able to see things from like the beginning when you're teaching them through like the battle stages and all that. So it's like you get to see the growth of your students over time, over the course of several years, which I think is pretty awesome. And then, of course, great tactics. Each of your characters level up separately and stuff. And I think for the first time, you actually get to run around this world, because I think these games tend to be, like most tactic games, you don't really run around. It's just like a bunch of little scenes. Not even town to town. No, it's like in between scenes. There's just some like not quote unquote cut scenes where people are talking, and then you go on to the next mission, and where it's like you're on a grid of a battlefield and stuff, and you just keep going. So. I guess you run around at the school and talk to people and get to know them and push them to do extra things like I don't know, learn to ride unicorns and shit. So it seems like it's fun.
There's been a lot of announcements of remakes and remasters, sequels. Yeah, that's one thing. But have you ever thought about the games that haven't got remade or remastered yet, and which ones you actually really would like to see?
Remade or remastered that I would like to see. Yes, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. I would love to see a remake of that.
Oh, with the graphics they're doing for Link's Awakening, something like that.
I don't know how I'd want it done. I'd want it relatively modernized. I'd want them to take that idea and then make it super modernized in a way that's like incorporates the stuff that made that game unique, and then kind of put it into a brand new type of game.
Most people hated that game, right?
Well, most people are wrong. Most people haven't even played that game.
Yeah, I think the reason most people hated it was because it was different than The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Like, I know it's really fucking hard. Like, if you ever played it, they take a lot of RPG type mechanics where you level up and you get stronger and all that, and they are merciless with these bad guys. Yeah. They are assholes about it. And yeah, it's a huge grind to get through these dungeons. But it brought about one of the best songs in Zelda history, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, very true. So I am. I would like to see a couple of things. One, I'd like to see a new Burnout game. I was never big on racing, but the idea of crashing cars on purpose and doing tricks and stuff with them. Did you ever play any of the Burnout games?
No, I never played those. The closest I got is like Need for Speed 2 Hot Pursuit. Yeah. where you basically just
Bur-
run from the cops, and then what we try to do is like break the map and try to get in the high areas so the cops are just like fumbling over themselves to get to us. That's the closest I got to.
Burnout was cool. I would love to see a new, not another port, not another remaster, but like a reboot, I guess, or brand new Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, that'd be great too. Like,
I
I
would love
loved the
that.
game on. I never played the one on PS1, but I played on Game Boy Advance, and those are great. But I think I
Tactics Advance.
that's it. Yeah, Final Fantasy
Yeah.
Tactics Advance. I think I have a limited bandwidth for those types of games. I think sometimes I'm just like I have that weird Venn diagram of like what is too difficult, like what is difficult, what is too difficult, or what is too difficult, what is too easy. You kind of want to get that nice in between. And there are levels generally in these tactic games where it gets too hard, and I'm just like, I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it anymore. It reminds me playing the Tomb Raider remake, the one for Xbox One or whatever, and the definitive edition. I think it was the first or second one. I don't remember, but there was this one area that I would get to, and there was this glitch that my game had. So normally there's like every I don't know 15 minutes or so, it kind of auto saves and you pick up from where you left off. Well, there was this one period where there was like a really tough area in between where I had to kill a bunch of guys and keep on going. It was really really hard. And I got past a cutscene and I was like, okay, cool, I'm good. And then like right after the cutscene passed, I died, and then I started back like 45 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna play this game again. Like I just knew in that moment, I was like, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna play this game again. Never coming back to it. That broke me. I'm done. And then I just kind of stopped
Wow.
and I never played again. I just at that point. I think I told you this where I played Smash Brothers Melee when I was in middle or high school, one of those two.
Uh-huh.
And there was a point where I got broken because one of the events was so fucking difficult, and my cousins distracted me at the worst moment possible.
Oh
And
no.
I got so frustrated. And it was at that point where I realized there's this tipping point for me where it is just no longer fun to even try to do something, and I'm just not going
Yeah.
to do it. Like I'm just not going to do it.
I got two more for you. Silent Hill.
I'm not a huge horror person.
Okay.
Like I don't mind it. I remember I played the I think Silent Hill 2 for PS2. I played that. But yeah, just not a huge horror person. They don't. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about the RPG horror game Parasite Eve?
Never played that actually.
Oh, damn. Those are two that I would really like to see.
Well, tell me about
Come
Parasite
back and
Eve. What is that? And I know what it is, but tell us about it, just in case those who don't.
So it kind of took the idea of action RPG, but still things were turn based. Kind of had a horror twist to it. I haven't played it in years because it's so dated, and while it was fun, it wasn't like Final Fantasy VII was to me, which I'm replaying through right now. But the battles were a little bit. I don't think you went into a different not room, but a different screen for your battles. You had flying creatures and ground creatures, and they're all monsters type stuff. A lot of the character designs in the books and artwork had a real anime feel, like a lot of JRPGs. It was different than Final Fantasy 7 or 8 was at the time, and I can't remember when Parasite Eve came out, but I remember it was different. And it was just interesting, and I would like to see it redone. It spawned a sequel. I did play through the sequel once. They weren't
Came out
forgettable games.
1998 is when Parasite Eve came out.
Okay, so yeah, Final Fantasy VIII came out after it, but
I think Final
they
Fantasy 8
weren't.
came out in 97, didn't it?
No,
Or
that was
7, 7. Sorry, my
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I was saying. It was different than 7.
Mhm.
Like the battle system, everything about it was different, but not in good way or not in bad ways, and not in unforgettable ways. It's just I haven't played it in so long, but I remember liking it. That I would like to see it redone, or at least a sequel, or a soft reboot of sorts. So, yeah. So you want Zelda? I want Final Fantasy and Silent Hill and
Parasite Eve.
Parasite Eve. What about Legend of Dragoon or what was that other one? Legend of Dragoon and God, it's breaking my mind. As a PlayStation 1 JRPG. Anyways, did you play Legend of Dragoon?
I did not know.
Did you miss out a lot on the PlayStation 1 stuff?
No, it was one of the ones where I looped back, but I didn't play Dragoon and I didn't play Parasite Eve.
Oh, okay. Okay. Huh, that's all right.
But I'm trying to think, what is that last one that you were wondering about?
I can't. It's gonna fucking drive me. Vagrant Story.
Oh, no one says Vagrant Story.
Sorry, Vagrant Story.
Vagrant Story. I actually missed that one too. I heard good things about it, but missed that one.
Did you miss Xenogears?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But that was good. And Xenosaga. I remember Xenosaga, that never finished, did it? They had like this whole grand
the first
plan.
One did really, really poorly. And I played the first one and I was like, well, hopefully the next one's better, but I think they did 2 and I never picked up 2.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It's like Dot Hack. Dot Hack had like this really grand idea. And I played through the first one and the backgrounds were so boring and the story, I guess because it was all set up for the rest of the series, and I didn't really care for Dot Hack. Did you?
No, and same with the anime. I didn't even care for the anime. The anime was boring. Oh my god, it was boring. They just stood around with their giant weapons talking to each other. It's like, just do something, please.
Did you ever play Galarians, getting out of RPGs?
No.
Action game where you get to use like psychokinesis, pyrokinesis, and shit like that. What about a game that they shouldn't remake? I got one you shouldn't remake. Not with like HD graphics, but what do you think?
Like remake, you mean? Like remake?
If you ported it and you just kind of like updated the sprites, like if it's a 8 or 16-bit game, you updated those a little bit, maybe.
That's
sure,
fine.
but no like full blown CGI stuff. No, don't do what they did with some of the Final Fantasies where they just made the characters chibi and cel shaded.
Mm-hmm.
What would you not want to see redone?
That's a tough one. I mean, I'm pretty open. You know me. I'm like, you don't tarnish something by remaking it, in my opinion. So I don't care.
I'm gonna say Chrono Trigger. I like
that. No, I kind of want that. I kind of want that to be remade.
It as a 16-bit game.
It's not. It's still going to be a 16 game if they remake it. That's the thing. It's going to be the same shit. You just go back to that if you want it. It's available on 87 different platforms if you want it, and it's still there.
Right.
But
you want to see. So what would you do with it then?
I don't know what I'd do with it. I'm just saying I'm open to the idea of it being remade because it could bring about something interesting. Could bring about a whole new feel and style to it that was missing, or it could allow it to capture another an audience that it didn't have before, and therefore they'd revisit the original. I don't think there's any real downsides to remaking something because you're not taking away from the original.
Yeah, because you always do have the original. So Star Wars is a prime example of this, even though that's not really a remake. It's making new Star Wars stuff. People are like, oh, Disney's ruining Star Wars, and look, there's stuff Disney's done with Star Wars I don't like, and there's stuff they've done that I do like. But we've always got the OT. And for some of you weird freaks out there, sorry if you hear my dog, but some of you weird freaks out there that like the prequel trilogy, you always have that. But the majority of us will always have the OT. So, I get your point, but I guess just for conversation's sake.
So I guess when it comes to the original trilogy, we don't always have the original trilogy as it was. We also have they did kind of systematically get rid of all of the original trilogy cuts.
Oh, if you're a true fan, you'll find a way.
Yeah,
I've got those DVDs that have the copies from the laser discs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that, but in 2005 or 2006, they did release a DVD set that had 2 discs with a bunch of
but it's not HD
stuff. No, it's not. It's not. It's standard definition. But you know what? It's the original trilogy, and that's what I watched. If you know what you're doing, you can find the despecialized version, which
it's a pretty good attempt.
What's that?
It's a pretty good attempt.
It is a pretty good attempt. Yeah. And believe it or not, what he did is exactly what Disney is rumored to be doing for their theatrical OT that is rumored to be coming out sometime. A few months ago, I wrote about this. I don't remember if it was on a weekend or in one of my columns, but they were doing basically the exact same thing. They got the original prints, they got the special edition stuff, they got the Blu-rays, and they're hodgepodging, and they're using digital effects to erase some things, digital effects to clean up this on the original print, and so the rumor is that we are going to get the original theatrical releases, but it's actually going to be similar to the despecialized version. How do you feel about that?
I think, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm excited to see. I mean, why wouldn't I want that? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think when it comes to most people, I don't mind too much some of the changes they made to the trilogy or the original trilogy. I think there's some good parts that were a result of that. But I'm totally down to have more. Like I said, if you give me every version of it along the way, it's like you lose nothing. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So give me more of those.
I will say that the original special edition was not too bad.
Oh, yeah?
1997 re-releases. A lot of the things they added, at least to 4 and 5, were absolutely fine. I did not care for the musical number on either version of Return of the Jedi, but I really didn't like the one on the special edition.
Yeah, the one in the original cut, the musical number, it was very forgettable. Because it was just them singing and stuff. It felt like you're just entering a bar. Whereas the other one was like, hold on, everything stop. We have a musical number. Let's watch it for 30 seconds. Okay, they're ready? Ready? Okay, go. And then they basically take off from there. I loved that shit as a kid, that musical number. But then I grew up and I was like, that's stupid. I don't want that. But yeah, I agree, it's forgettable. But here's a question. Do you prefer Yub Nub or the new special edition ending song for Return of the Jedi?
The originalist in me, of course, likes the original, but I think the enhanced celebration actually works.
It's better, right? It's so good. That song is great. Worked. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I'm taking a fucking tangent here, but here it is anyway. So that other song, I don't know what it's called, the new celebration one for Return of the Jedi. Doesn't it kind of sound like, what is it, that Avicii song? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know who
you don't
Avicii
know?
is.
Okay, after we're done with the podcast, let me see here. Avicii. Nope, that's how you spell it. How the fuck do you spell Avicii? Avicii. Nope, Return of the Jedi. Let's see if anyone. I can't be the only one who thinks this. So it's Hey Brother. That's the name of the song from Avicii. So at the end of Return of the Jedi, where it goes, does it go? Bum bum. What was it? Dun 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 dun. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And then at the end of Hey Brother, or in the middle of Hey Brother, it basically goes dun 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 dun.
Is Avicii some sort of pop artist or DJ guy?
He's like a DJ guy, but
so he's probably sampled straight from it.
He's not.
No.
He's not sampling it. And I've talked to a million other people, including one of my friends who's the biggest Star Wars fan I know. Maybe not as big as you, but pretty big. But he was just like, dude, I think it's a stretch. And I'm like, fuck you. That's not a stretch. It feels exactly the fucking same. And I'm just curious if I'm crazy.
No, send me a link.
Okay. Yeah. I will send you a link for sure. Actually, do I want you to listen to it on the podcast? Nah. Nah. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Okay, but I could talk for a second. So here's the thing about Star Wars. What the fuck was I gonna say? I had thoughts. But I'm wondering if anyone at Lucasfilm
Somebody
noticed.
actually made a comparison video.
Yeah, so you know it's real. You absolutely know it's real. But so what is the second song called? Not the celebration one. It's not Yub Nub, right?
The original track listing has it as Ewok Feast.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Ewok Feast.
Okay. And then the new one is Ewok Celebration. It's literally just called Ewok Celebration. Okay.
Yeah, I hear it.
You hear it, right?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously,
you're less excited. You're less excited.
It's got 4,000 plus views on it.
That's not that many views. When it comes to the grand scheme of things, when it comes to conspiracy theories, you have to be in the hundreds of thousands before it. You know.
Okay.
before it's something. And you're talking to somebody who goes down YouTube rabbit holes about conspiracy theories on a pretty frequent basis.
Can't do that much longer.
Why not?
No, they legitimately, Google came out and said they're looking at purging a bunch of conspiracy theory videos.
Well, let me rephrase this. Conspiracy theories in the like supernatural sense. I don't think they're getting rid of those.
Okay. Well, whatever. Oh man, Star Wars. Yeah. That talking remakes, that's the line we were on and everything like that.
I remember what I was gonna say though.
What do you remember?
I gotta call Seth out. Seth McDonald, contributor to the site, one of our lovely writers. I think he's insane. I think he's crazy.
Why is that?
Because he insists that the first 3 movies are better than the sequel trilogy. I think that's crazy talk.
What, you mean the OT or the
No,
PT?
the PT.
Okay. No.
I just think that's crazy. Like there was that one meme he posted on Slack where it's like what is it?
Yeah,
it was that Game of Thrones comparison where it's like 1 through 6 are great, 7 and 8 are garbage
7
or
and 8
something.
sucked.
And I'm like, that's a false narrative you're pushing because
broken meme or something like that.
Yeah, it's a broken meme. 1 through 3 are not good at all.
As somebody who has recently watched 1, 2, 3, and Solo, I can assure you guys that the prequel trilogy as a whole is not better than the sequel trilogy as a whole. As a matter of fact, the overwhelming majority of the sequel trilogy is better than the prequel trilogy. I mean, episode 1, we could throw that whole movie away. It's completely fucking irrelevant. And then all the writing problems, the dialogue problems, the visual effects problems, I mean, all the issues in Clones and Sith, absolutely, they're terrible. They're horrible. And then the dancing DJ lightsaber fight at the very end, we waited all this time to see Anakin and Obi-Wan go at it, and they just dance together. Seth fucking loves it, and he hates it that I call it a dance. But that's all they're fucking doing. They're just dancing. There are a couple of decent lightsaber fights in the prequel trilogy. Of course, Obi-Wan.
They're flashy and they look cool, but they're not like fights.
Well, Obi-Wan and Maul was really good. I think that was a really good fight.
I agree.
Obi-Wan with Qui-Gon and Maul, a little bit flashy, but still better than Obi-Wan versus Anakin. And then the actual Obi-Wan and Anakin rescuing the Emperor at the beginning and fighting Dooku was flashy, but that's like, I guess that's the second best one in the trilogy. The rest of them, fucking Yoda flying around fighting Dooku and 2 and shit. No, guys, I know a lot of you grew up with the prequel trilogy, and I don't think
Seth has an excuse though. I don't.
No,
think
he doesn't. He's older.
He's older.
He's older than me.
I think he's just bitter. I think he's just bitter because he doesn't like the sequel trilogy a lot. So he's just like, everything that Lucas did before was better. Sorry, Seth. I'm calling you out. I'm gonna call you out on Slack to let you know.
I'm gonna call out a lot of people on that one that think that's. Oh God! People sitting there saying, give it back to Lucas to make 9 or whatever, and apparently they did bring him in for some stuff. But everybody a lot of people that have said give it back to Lucas were the same people that said Lucas ruined Star Wars, and they're the same people that said Snyder ruined the DCEU, and are now the exact same people saying we want the Snyder cut.
Yeah, they just want it all. They want it all. It's true.
And what they're caking to eat it too.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they want everything. They just want what they want in that moment that they want it, and they accept no substitutes.
Yeah. Even in 1999, after seeing episode 1, I was like, maybe Lucas shouldn't write and direct the next 2. Maybe he should just give them his story. Hey, this is where I want it to go, and let other people write and direct. Kind of like he did with the original trilogy. And nope, he's directing too. Oh God, he wrote it. Oh God, I'm watching it and I don't like it.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I just don't. Sorry, Seth, I just don't see it. I do not see it. But actually, here's a question: is Solo better than the prequels?
No,
you don't think so?
Equally as bad in different ways.
Interesting.
I'll put it this way. For those of you that don't know, go to the Los Fanboys channel, wherever you get podcasts from, and check out the Last Call podcasts from me and Cam. We've been watching all of the Star Wars saga, all the Star Wars movies, not just the Skywalker saga, starting with 1, and we just finished Solo last month. As far as I'm concerned, unless it's for a paid gig, I will never, ever, ever watch Solo 3, 2, or 1 again. Never. I plan on Rogue One being my prequel. I know you've got your issues with it, but that's my prequel movie. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I can understand Rogue One being the prequel movie. I think there's a lot that movie does right. There's a lot a fan service that it brings to it and filling out the world. Yeah. I just think as a narrative, it's a fail.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and the characters are bland, like you said. But...
Well, not just bland. The main character is just passive as fuck. I think they originally planned to make her more active, but I guess either test screenings didn't do well, or they changed it. Like, they reshot stuff so that she's more just kind of along for the ride and just does things, and then motivations aren't quite there. It's like all of a sudden you go from like, oh, I'm now leading a rebellion. Why? I have no motivation, but sure, we need to because the plot needs us to get there, so let's do it. Things like that.
But I never plan on watching the prequels or Solo ever again. I mean, I hated Solo, and I point out exactly why, and there's some people that agree, some people that vehemently disagree, Nick, and which is fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. They're just more entitled to mine.
Right. So, yeah, anything else that's happened? Like, this has been a light week in terms of news.
It has been, but it's been fun to just kind of fucking bullshit.
I got one
for an episode.
Did you see Did you see the Pennyworth trailer?
No, I did not see the Pennyworth trailer.
So,
I saw the trailer that they showed in movie theaters. I don't remember which movie I went to go see, but there was a trailer for it in front of a movie.
Really?
And I was just like, yeah. And I was just like, what in the
Was
fuck
it like
is
the
this?
20? Was it like the first 20 minutes or so of the movie? Or
No.
No? It was an actual trailer?
No. It was an actual trailer of sorts.
Interesting.
It's different than this trailer. But yeah, it was different than this one, but it still kind of had the same thing where they were like pushing this idea of a spy type deal.
Yeah.
And then they showed the title Pennyworth, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, so... But I'm watching it right now. What do you want to talk about it?
I mean, nothing specific. I just curious what you thought. Says someone who you're not a huge Batman fan. Never mind.
No.
But I mean, I'm just curious because this is one of those situations where I didn't feel like there was much story to tell. And I'm not saying there is still story to tell, but it doesn't feel like a comic book show, which is kind of cool. But more than anything that caught my ear was that this guy is channeling Michael Caine's Cockney accent, like specifically. I know we've had other interpretations of Alfred that don't have the Cockney accent, but they're going full on Michael Caine with this one, with his voice.
Interesting.
And I just thought it was interesting.
Do you ever wonder why DC spreads their properties out so much when they have the CW?
I love because there's more money to be made. I love it. Like, this is you. You're like this. Do you feel like you got this frustration, this groan of frustration as you're deciding how to word what you're going to say?
Why is that funny to you? You're a terrible person.
Well, it's funny because you get so much exhaustion from it.
I don't know. I'm passionate, man.
That's true.
Have passions.
That's true. It's good, but I can still laugh at it. But anyways,
the whole thing's giving me an ulcer.
So why do they do that? Because there's money on the table. They realize that they have certain people who are into DC who watch the CW. Then there are certain people who are into DC who don't like them CW shows. There are different ways for them to take on similar characters in different ways. And why not try to just get as much audience or capture as much audience as possible? Do I think they're overdoing it? Absolutely. I absolutely do think it.
Epix, TNT, DC
Fox.
Universe, Fox, or FX.
No, and
CW.
Fox. Wait, FX.
What's that?
What's on FX?
I thought Gotham was on FX.
No, it's Fox.
No, it's Fox? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Disney.
Yeah, right. It's all Disney now.
The real reason Gotham was canceled.
Well, was it canceled? I thought it just ended.
It didn't. I'm just joking.
Oh. Well, I don't your joke's got to be factually correct, man.
Whatever. Just because they ended it doesn't mean that it wasn't like, hey, you guys have to end it because you're canceled.
That's true.
I mean, it could have been that way for all we fucking know. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. It's been a good conversation with you, Jammer. Make sure you guys go and check out the website, LRMonline.com. Make it your homepage. All your entertainment, TV, news, video games, information, and it's all there. Go to the YouTube channel. We got great stuff on there. Lots of celebrity interviews, reaction videos. LRM ranks it, and there's more to come. Keep your eyes out. As a matter of fact, you can get LR Mornings on YouTube. Yesterday's episode went up. You can listen to it on YouTube now. So if you got somebody that doesn't do the podcast thing, but they got the YouTube thing, hey, shoot them the link. And definitely check out the Los Fanboys podcast wherever you get podcasts. Just about wherever you can get podcasts. And check out Breaking Geek Radio, the podcast. LRM ranks it. LR Mornings, and of course, Los Fanboys. And we got some other podcasts hitting the site, so make sure you guys keep your eyes, as always, at LRMonline.com. Jammer, where can people find you at?
You can find me at Jam the Writer on Twitter and all my stuff at LRMonline.com. And I also want to plug tomorrow's episode of Los Fanboys. I have a friend of mine, Mike Alfaro, who's coming on. He is the creator of the internet sensation Millennial Loteria. And for those Latinos out there who know Loteria, it's like that one bingo-like game that they have. And he basically took that concept and updated it for our modern world. And it's really funny. So if you just Google Millennial Loteria, it's fucking funny. And they actually showed it as a part of, they incorporated that in the series Vida, which came out a couple weeks ago. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. We'll be talking to him about geek-related stuff, and check it out.
Yeah, cool. There's a Hispanic-oriented or Hispanic-based characters and world cartoon on Cartoon Network, Victor and Valentino, and they actually played a version of that game, but it's all supernatural, and people got sucked into the cards and stuff, and some of the things from the cards came out into the real world.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know if you knew about that cartoon.
I knew about it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, my house is always on that because I got a 5-year-old, and we don't let him. And he doesn't watch Fluffy Puppies and Bubble Guppies and stuff. No, he watches Teen Titans Go and Amazing World of Gumball. I'm not sure if I'm a good parent or not, but you guys can let me know at that Kyle Malone on Twitter, and you can find me at the website doing all sorts of stuff. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.